Hello everyone, my name is Katie, welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be testing out a makeup brand that I'd only recently discovered existed. So when I was doing my testing Amazon makeup videos, obviously I was on Amazon looking at makeup. So I came across this brand called HYPOAllergenic. And it's basically a whole brand that has like its own Amazon page. I don't know where else you can get it. I got all of my products off of Amazon. They probably have a website as well. But yeah, I'd never heard of this brand before, but they had like pretty much a full face of makeup available. So I was kind of curious. They're definitely more on the affordable side. I wouldn't say like they're super duper cheap, but they're kind of like the price of like Rimmel, Maybelline, just kind of like your average drugstore brands. They're kind of around that price. So it definitely wasn't like too expensive to get a full face. I think it cost me about like £60. Kind of think that the selling point of this brand is that it's hypoallergenic. I mean, I don't know if that's like a common thing. Like you never really see most makeup brands saying whether or not they're hypoallergenic. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do get allergies and I have asthma as well. I get very congested, so I guess makeup that's hypoallergenic would actually benefit me. I mean, it's not something that I've really thought about before, but I mean, I guess it's just an added bonus. So yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this on YouTube before. There probably are some videos out there, I just haven't looked them up. If you are curious about this brand and what the products are like, I will be testing them out. They do have a lot of primers, but I didn't really want a primer. I'm not really massively into primers, to be honest. So we'll go straight into the foundation. Whether or not this actually is a foundation, I'm confused. I think it's maybe more so meant as a BB cream. On here it just says matte and soft makeup. In fact, it's described as a hypoallergenic mattifying fluid. Light, oil-free consistency of the fluid does not weigh down the skin and does not clog the pores, allowing to keep a natural look without the mask effect on the face. Mine is in the shade 00 Alabaster. They had a few shades, but it wasn't a particularly great shade range. I mean, this was just on Amazon though. I don't know if it's like a better shade range on their website or wherever else you can get this, because I don't even know where else you can get this. But this is what the foundation looks like. Just your kind of standard glass sort of bottle. Shade does look very pale, which is good. I'm kind of expecting this to more be like a BB cream than like a high coverage foundation. But that's fine, I do quite like BB creams. So that is the colour on my hand there. As you can see, this is a very pale colour. I would say the undertones are more on the neutral side. I wouldn't say it's particularly yellow or particularly pink. Definitely more neutral, which should work for me. I am more warm toned, but I can also get away with neutral things as well. So let's just go straight in for this. I don't have any eyeshadow from them, so that's why I'm kind of just doing it base to cheeks to eyes, no, to brows to eyes to lips. Yeah. So I'm going to use my dirty sponge to blend this in because I really should wash this. I think this colour will work pretty well. Might be a bit too light, but I'd rather be too light than too dark because it's easier to fix something if it's too light, whereas if it's too dark it's kind of like stuck with it. Okay, actually I think this might be more coverage than I thought it would be. Okay, so that's actually surpassed my expectations. I thought that would be like very little coverage, but I would actually say it's kind of medium coverage. I mean, you definitely can still see like my kind of spots coming through, but it's actually quite pigmented. Sitting on the skin really nicely actually. It doesn't look dry. I'd say it's kind of semi-matte. It's not like super dewy, because I kind of thought like a lot of BB creams tend to be quite dewy. I wouldn't say this is super dewy. I would say it's more kind of semi-matte. It's not like amazing coverage, but it's just better than what I thought it was going to be. And actually it's sitting on the skin really nicely. I actually really like that. I'm just going to get a bit closer to the camera, zoom in a bit, just so you can really see how it is sitting on my skin. I don't think it's clung to any patches. It doesn't really look crepey or dry or in any area. It looks pretty nice to me. I don't know if you'll be able to see here, but I tend to get spots kind of around my mouth, and it's not completely covered those or anything, but that's fine because most foundations don't. Only really like full coverage ones do, but I was not expecting this to be full coverage anyway. Let's move on to concealer. The concealer is the Liquid Eye Concealer. Moisturizes, conceals dark circles, under eyes, long lasting. Does that mean you can't use it on blemishes? It's just meant for under eyes. Mine's in the light shade 01. Might be a little bit dark, but I'll have another look at it, but that is what it looks like there. Again, didn't have a lot of shades, like I think maybe 3 or 4. Actually, I think the colour might be alright. This one definitely is more on the yellowy, warm side. No, I think that will be okay actually. I thought it might have been a bit too dark, but I think it will work. I mean, my base is quite light anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it is a tiny bit dark. So let's just go in with this. Yeah, definitely more on the warm, yellowy side, that's for sure. I know it says for under eyes, but I'm going to put a bit of this on my blemishes as well. Okay, I mean, it has given a bit more coverage, but I wouldn't say it's a particularly high coverage concealer. Like, I think it's, yeah, it's sitting nicely under my eyes. Yeah, it sits nice on the skin. I just wouldn't really say it's added too much more coverage really, and I feel like the shade sort of oxidizes a little bit. Like when I first put it on and then I started to blend it, it kind of looked like it was changing colour. But I mean, once it's blended in, the colour doesn't look bad because I mean I had a light base on anyway, but I don't know actually, I can't make my mind up about this. I think I would need to try that on its own, just like without foundation, just so I could really see what the coverage is like exactly. So we'll move on to setting powder. I actually got 2 setting powders. One of them is a little bit broken, which is a bit sad. This is the Belle Hypoallergenic Fixing Matte Powder in 01. This is translucent. That's what it looks like there. And then that's what it looks like inside. It did come a little bit broken, like, okay, some bits just flew off. I definitely think it's still usable. I was going to have to be a bit careful with that. I also got their matte powder natural effect, which came in a box. That's what it looks like on the outside, and I think this was in the shade 01. I think this might be a bit too dark for me, but I'm not 100% sure. I kind of want to try it just to see. I think what I'll do is I'll use the translucent one under my eyes and on my eyelids, and then I'll use the coloured one on the rest of my face and hope it doesn't make me orange. So I'm just going to pat out any creases, and then I'm going to use this little brush with the translucent powder. In fact, let me just make sure there's no other powders on this brush. Okay, so I think that translucent powder has sat quite nicely under the eyes. I also like that it's not too like white, like a lot of translucent powders, it just leaves like a kind of white patch under your eye or wherever you put it on your face. This one kind of seems to have adapted to what is on underneath. Good, because a lot of translucent powders don't do that. We'll go in with the coloured one, use this on the rest of my face. Well, I don't think that powder has made me too dark or anything. In this lighting it looks absolutely fine. It's mattified my face. The finish is actually pretty nice. I think I'm quite happy with both of those powders actually. And I'm very picky with powders because everything looks shit on me. But I'm actually happy with that. I think overall I'm pretty happy with this base. Quite impressed actually, because I didn't have the highest of expectations. Right, so I now have a bronzer to try out. This is the Bronze Powder Multifunctional. This is what it looks like there, and it's in the shade number 2. So that's it there. It is definitely more on the matte side. I think this colour looks like it will work for me. We'll have to see what it's like on the skin. So again, just going to get any excess bronzer off my bronzer brush. And let's give this a go. I like to put my bronzer through my cheekbones and a bit on my forehead. I like that a lot. That's very natural looking. It's a good colour for my pale skin. It doesn't come out like too harsh. Like, it has pigment definitely, but it's not like too pigmented. That's really nice. I like that bronzer. I'm just going to blend it out a little bit. I am mega into that bronzer. It's also blending out very nicely. Like, it just doesn't look too harsh. I personally don't like my bronzer to look harsh. I know a lot of pale people like to kind of overcompensate with bronzer, but personally I would rather it look more natural, because it's like, who am I kidding? And I also have a highlighter. This is the Face and Body Illuminating Powder in number 1 Cool. I think this was the only shade that they had. I'm hoping this is going to be light enough for me. It's kind of like a, I wouldn't even know how to describe it. It's sort of like a beigey kind of highlight. It's not like a highlight colour I've really seen a lot of. I mean, there's a slight kind of goldness to it. I don't know, it's a bit of an odd colour to be honest, but let's hope it's nice on the face. Okay, excess highlighter is off my brush. Right, let's just pop this on in the usual places. Let's see if this gives me a nice bit of glow. Oh. Yeah, the colour seems fine. That is nice. Ooh. I really like that. It reminds me of my Milani one in that there's not like a really intense kind of colour pigment behind it. It's more just like a sheen, but a pigmented sheen. That's really nice. I really like that. It's kind of, it's just natural. Like it doesn't look like, oh, I've put a stripe of colour on my face. It just looks like I've put shimmer on my face, which is lovely. It's very pigmented. That's really nice. Ah, I like it. Okay, so I have my foundation lips off, so let's move on to eyebrows. I've got one eyebrow product. This is the Brow Modular Gel in the shade 03. I can't remember whether or not they had pencils. I think they might have, but I just didn't fancy getting one. And I personally quite like brow gels. It's quite a chunky tube. And this one does have the like small brush, which I personally prefer. The colour's a bit kind of like a grey sort of colour. I mean, I'm hoping I can get away with this colour. So it has got a lot of excess on it, so I am just going to wipe off any of that excess. I'm just going to kind of brush through my brows with this. What I've been doing lately with my eyebrows is I'll use like a gel, like something like this, and then I'll just get a pencil afterwards and just kind of fill in any kind of sparseness. And that's what I've been liking doing lately. But obviously I don't have a brow pencil from them, so we're just going to see what this gel is like on its own. I think the colour's alright actually. There's your before and after. That is done what I wanted to do. I still think I would probably add a tiny bit of pencil just like to the arch, because that's what I've been doing lately with like pretty much all of my eyebrow gels. I don't know, like for ages I just used brow gels on their own, but then I've kind of realised, hey, just add a bit of pencil, then they're even better. Actually, very happy with that brow gel. That's done exactly what I wanted brow gel to do. Just kind of combed through my brows, giving them some like colour tint and a bit more definition. I personally would want to add just a bit of pencil to it, and I don't know whether this brand does pencil or not. The product on its own I really like. Next I have an eye pencil to try out. This is literally just called eyeliner pencil in 01, and this is a black one. I always like to use a black liner on my waterlines. That is what it looks like here. This is a twisty up one, which, oh shit, have I just broke it? I hadn't opened it before this, so maybe a little bit broken, I don't know. Let's see if I can use it still. I don't trust this to not like fall out of the tube now. That's a bit disappointing. We're gonna try and use this in our waterlines anyway. Yeah, that's a shame that it's a bit broken, because that's actually got pretty good colour payoff and it's glided on very easily. And it's done exactly what I want an eyeliner pencil to do. It's just like it doesn't go down from this point. Like once it's there, you can get it to go up, but it won't go any more down. I mean, like I think that's okay, because like it does, like the lid would fit on it there. I don't know. I like it. That's just, you know, exactly what I want. I just want something that's like pigmented and doesn't hurt my eyes to put on. That's what I really look for in my black liners. Let's move on to mascara. This is the Strong Mascara, Intense, Bold and Length, False Lash Effect, Does Not Crumble. I see. And it came in this box here. And they did have quite a few mascaras to choose from. And it's in a nice, sleek red tube. And that is what the one looks like. That looks really similar to the L'Oreal Unlimited ones, and I've been really loving the L'Oreal Unlimited mascara, so let's hope it's kind of like that. So I am just going to do my top and bottom lashes with this and see what kind of volume and, looking good so far, length we can get out of this. Mascara is like my favourite makeup item. I just love having like really thick lashes. It's just all I want in life. Okay, so I'll just do a little side by side of no eyelashes. Eyelashes. I actually think that's done quite a nice job. I don't like it quite as much as my L'Oreal Unlimited one, which is my favourite at the moment. But I mean, that's given some decent length and some decent volume. I actually do quite like that. So let's just finish off all my lashes. Okay, so that is all of my lashes done. I actually think this was a pretty good mascara. I'm quite pleased with it. Is it the best mascara I've ever used? No, as I said, the L'Oreal Unlimited one is one of my favourites at the moment, and I slightly prefer that one. But I definitely think you can get some decent length and volume out of this one, and I would recommend it. And I think a lot of people would really like this, especially if you don't have, like, you've got really sparse eyelashes. I think you'd like this. We've got one more item to try out. This is the matte liquid lipstick. Mine is in the shade 02 Warsaw, and they did actually have quite a lot of shades to choose from. This one's just kind of like a kind of rich pinky nude colour. So I'm just going to pop some of this on my lips. Obviously we're going through quite like kind of basic natural look today, so I wanted to go for a kind of more basic lip. Ooh, it smells really nice, like fruity. So we're just gonna pop some of this on. I really like that colour. Okay, and that is the lip product on. That was like super easy to apply, very opaque. I absolutely love that colour, it's gorgeous. I think it suits me quite nicely. It's definitely something that I can tell is gonna dry down matte very shortly, which is fine as long as it's not too drying. So that is everything tried. I'm just going to go to the toilet because I'm desperate. I'm going to sort my hair out, show you the finished look and give you my final thoughts on all the makeup I've tried and this brand in general. Right, and we are back with the finished makeup look. This liquid lip definitely dries down matte, but it feels really comfortable. It's probably one of the best formulas I've tried of a liquid lip. It just feels really like comfortable and not too like sticky or anything like that. But obviously it's very opaque, so really liking that. I have to say that overall I'm just very impressed with literally everything I've tried. I don't think there's a single bad product. The only thing I'm a little bit unsure of is the concealer. I just wasn't 100% convinced that added that much coverage, but I feel like I need to try that again to know for sure really. But the foundation was actually really nice. The powders I actually really liked. I think they've had a really nice finish. And I have such issues with powders. The bronzer, beautiful. The highlighter, beautiful. The eyebrow gel I really liked. I personally would want to add a bit of pencil to this, which I might do when I start filming. The eyeliner really good. The mascara pretty good. The lip pretty good. Like, pretty much everything was good. And kind of concerns me that no one's talking about this brand, because those were some good makeup products for pretty cheap prices there. And I definitely would recommend checking some of this out, because I personally really like it. I wasn't actually expecting to like it because no one talks about it and because I'd literally never heard of it before. But I'm very happy with how this has turned out. There you go. If you're thinking of trying out this brand, definitely do it, I would say. I will leave the link to the page where you can get all of the products. I'll also link the individual products as well in the description box. Obviously I'm not sure about the availability worldwide. Obviously I bought them from amazon.co.uk, but I have no idea if they're available worldwide or in certain countries. I'm not sure, but hopefully you can get it worldwide. That is all for this video. I will see you in my next one. Bye.